The story we are tracking is this. CodeWords raises 9M to develop AI agents that automate before you ask. The important question is not whether the headline sounds impressive. The question is whether this signal changes how builders, companies, or users behave in the real AI market. That discipline is important because the first version of an AI story is often optimized for attention, not for decision-making. The discovery signal came from Google News Us. That matters because early AI shifts often appear first in builder communities, developer tooling, research feeds, and product conversations before they become mainstream business headlines. A useful signal should become stronger when we compare it with independent behavior across multiple communities. The raw detail is US Google/Serper news result. CodeWords, operated by Agemo AI Ltd, today announced it raised $9 million in seed funding. Treat that as a starting point, not a final conclusion. A strong briefing separates the signal from the proof, then asks what would have to be true for the trend to matter. This is where the channel slows the story down enough to separate movement, motive, and measurable evidence. For the US audience, the frame is simple. AI stories become valuable when they connect to capability, cost, distribution, regulation, or trust. If a story does not touch one of those layers, it may be noise. The strongest AI topics usually connect more than one layer at the same time, which is why a narrow headline can hide a broader shift. Put the source facts on screen. The discovery source is Google News Us. The raw detail is US Google/Serper news result. CodeWords, operated by Agemo AI Ltd, today announced it raised $9 million in seed funding. The normalized trend score is 0.76. The wider source mix is Reddit, 26, GitHub, 23, Hacker News, 15, Google News Us, 15, AirXCV, 10. These facts do not prove the story, but they explain why this topic earned a deeper look. That evidence card should appear early because viewers need to see the numbers before they hear the interpretation. Then look at cost. Better AI does not automatically become useful AI. The product has to run at a price that customers can justify, especially when usage grows from a pilot to daily operations. Cost is also where many exciting products meet reality, because every extra second of inference has to be paid for by someone. Distribution is the next layer. A powerful feature hidden inside a niche tool can stay small. A similar feature attached to a platform with millions of users can reshape behavior much faster. That is why distribution can turn a modest feature into a major market event, especially when the user does not need to change habits. Trust is where many AI products slow down. Enterprises need permissions, logs, rollback, compliance, and clear ownership. The winning product is not just impressive, it is safe enough to adopt. In serious markets, trust is not a slogan. It is an operating requirement that decides whether adoption can leave the pilot stage. When builders react, pay attention to what they are building around the news. Are they forking repositories, testing APIs, writing tutorials, comparing costs, or simply reposting the same claim? Builder behavior is valuable because developers tend to reveal friction quickly when a claim does not survive hands-on use. When researchers react, look for independent replication. A paper or model claim becomes stronger when other teams can reproduce parts of the result, challenge the assumptions, or find practical limits. Research behavior matters because replication, criticism, and careful benchmarking can turn a claim into a more durable reference point. When enterprise buyers react, watch for workflow language. The useful question is not whether AI is exciting, the useful question is which department can save time, reduce errors, or create new revenue. Enterprise behavior matters because budgets follow operational pain, not just curiosity about the newest model release. When consumers react, watch the interface. AI adoption often grows when the feature appears at the exact moment of need, inside a search box, a phone, a browser, or a daily work tool. Consumer behavior matters because the winning interface often feels obvious after it arrives, even if the underlying technology is complex. When investors react, separate durable economics from excitement. Funding can accelerate a trend, but it can also hide weak unit economics until the market asks for proof. Investor behavior matters because capital can create momentum, but it cannot permanently replace customers, margins, and retention. Infrastructure decides the ceiling. Compute, memory bandwidth, power contracts, data center capacity, and inference cost all shape whether a promising AI idea can scale. Infrastructure behavior matters because AI is physical now. Power, cooling, chips, and networks shape what software can promise. Open models create price pressure. They do not erase frontier labs, but they give developers and companies more negotiating power when good enough intelligence can be hosted elsewhere. Open model pressure matters because it gives the market alternatives, and alternatives force every provider to justify its premium. Closed models still have advantages. They may move first on capability, safety tooling, support, and enterprise contracts. The question is whether that advantage remains worth the premium. Closed model advantage matters because trust, support, and frontier capability can still matter more than raw openness in some workflows. Agent stories need extra discipline. A flashy autonomous demo can hide brittle execution. Real agents need task boundaries, memory controls, tool permissions, and a way to fail without causing damage. Agent reliability matters because a product that acts on behalf of the user has to be judged by consequences, not screenshots. Data can become the real moat. As models become more accessible, the advantage shifts toward companies that own clean workflows, proprietary context, and trusted integration points. Data advantage matters because the same model can produce different value when it is connected to unique, clean, trusted context. Regulation is not just a legal footnote, it changes product design. Audit trails, privacy handling, human review, and safety explanations can become part of the product itself. Regulatory design matters because compliance can become a product advantage when buyers need confidence before deployment. Map the competition by stack position. Some companies own chips, some own models, some own workflow software, some own distribution. The strongest players may combine several layers. Stack position matters because the company that captures user attention may not be the same company that captures the profit pool. The main risk is overreading the signal. A single viral discussion or benchmark does not prove a market shift. It only tells us where to investigate next with primary evidence. Risk control matters because a high-velocity narrative can make weak evidence look stronger than it really is. The opportunity is speed. If this signal is real, early builders can test use cases before the market narrative hardens. That is where small teams can sometimes move faster than incumbents. Speed matters because early teams can learn quickly, but speed only compounds if the learning is honest. The next evidence should be concrete. Look for official documentation, reproducible tests, customer deployments, pricing details, usage numbers, or technical write-ups that reduce uncertainty. Concrete evidence matters because serious viewers need a way to update their beliefs without chasing every viral post. In the short term, watch developer adoption, API usage, GitHub activity, product integrations, and whether respected builders keep discussing the topic after the first wave of attention fades. Short-term tracking matters because momentum can fade fast if builders stop finding practical reasons to keep experimenting. In the long term, watch costs, reliability, regulation, and distribution. If those pieces improve together, the story can move from interesting headline to durable AI infrastructure. Long-term tracking matters because durable AI shifts usually survive multiple news cycles and keep improving under cost pressure. Do not turn every AI headline into a prediction. The better habit is to build a decision frame. What changed, who benefits, what evidence is missing, and what would make us change our mind. Decision frames matter because they protect us from both blind hype and lazy dismissal. The practical takeaway is this. Treat CodeWords raises $9 million to develop AI agents that automate before you ask as a signal worth tracking, but not as proof by itself. The value comes from the structure around the signal. Structure matters because the same headline can mean very different things depending on source quality, timing, and adoption path. For builders, the action is to test quickly and honestly. Try the tool, compare alternatives, measure costs, and document failure cases. That creates better judgment than hype or cynicism. Builder action matters because the fastest way to understand a technical signal is to test where it breaks. For operators, the action is to connect the story to workflow. Ask where it reduces friction, where it creates risk, and which controls are needed before real deployment. Operator action matters because the business value of AI is measured in workflows changed, not demos admired. For investors, the action is to follow the stack. Capability attracts attention, but distribution, cost control, data advantage, and trust often decide who keeps the value. Investor action matters because the best AI stories combine technical progress with a believable path to value capture. That is the operating thesis for this channel. We track AI news through source signals, market structure, technical evidence, and adoption reality, not just the loudest announcement. Channel discipline matters because the audience deserves a briefing that is sharp, skeptical, and still open to real breakthroughs. If this signal keeps showing up across builders, research, products, and customers, it deserves a deeper look. If it disappears after one news cycle, we will know it was noise. The right move is to keep the evidence map open and update it as stronger signals arrive. That is the standard we will use before turning any AI signal into a conclusion.